Welcome to hell.
Hello,
No, wait a
and
second.
whoa.
My bad, guy. You're good.
We'll save that one too because that was good.
No, good for you.
I was not expecting that.
That's cool.
All right, we're Veronica Vaughn. It's very intimate. These next two songs are a little Western medley, Twisting and Burning and Reach for the Sky. It's twisting and it's burning, and I can't wrap my head around the way the world is turning. And I wish I had at least one fucking answer to the questions bombarding my mind. But you can't expect an answer from a guy that doesn't even scream his prayers, and you can't expect that you've always been alone. So I'm forging ahead, and I'm cutting down anyone who stands in my way and tries to impart wisdom about anything they have experienced in the life of settling. But you can't expect an answer from a person that never bet on themselves, and you can't expect a helping hand. You're on your you always been alone. But you can't expect an answer from a guy that doesn't even scream his prayers, and you can't expect a helping hand. You're on your own. And the truth is that you always be alone.
That's cool.
Hello, and welcome to the Jersey Shore Musicians Podcast. I'm Matt. That's Jeff.
Hello.
And tonight we got the guys from Veronica Vaughn.
Golf
guys.
clap.
Hello.
Golf clap.
For ourselves.
So how we doing tonight?
Not too bad, not too bad.
You guys drove like 30 minutes or something, right? To get here or something like that?
Yeah, whole,
Well, he did to get to the first destination.
yeah.
okay.
I drove 30 minutes to get to his house, then we drove about a minute.
Oh, that's
Crow
good.
flies in LA.
So, all right. Let's talk about the name real quick of the band.
Yes.
I love that movie.
It's a great movie.
It is a great movie.
Yeah, so...
And she is hot.
Yeah, and that Veronica Vaughn is one hot piece of
That's-
you know.
That's awesome, man.
You know, it's we just figured like that movie rules. Like if people get that reference, then hooray, you're awesome.
Yeah.
And if if the rare person that doesn't get the reference, they just think it's like any other band name or whatever. So it's
Yeah.
like
it doesn't sit there and like, you know, they're not going to sit there like, what is that? Like,
What's
you know,
that from?
it's like they can accept it and walk away, or they could do some research and find something out. You know?
Veronica Vaughn. So, how'd you guys start? Is it a 3-piece? Are we missing somebody?
We are missing Pat. Pat
Okay.
is our lead guitarist.
Hi, Pat.
Hi, Pat.
I'm taking your job.
So Pat's our lead guitarist. You know, he stayed home tonight out of respect for the space. You know, we just didn't want to like
Gotcha. Okay.
be on top of each other and look terrible for
Okay.
you know.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat.
That's the one thing we lack is a little bit of space when we're doing this.
Yeah, that's but this place is awesome. Like
We make it work.
I love the space. So the band started kind of originally. Rob and I were in a band called Funeral Students for about like 2-3 years, and that band broke up. And then me and Rob decided like we wanted to keep playing, and Rob actually went and found this man here, Steve Gallo, with another one of our friends, Ray. So it was weird. He met him through a guy, so it was like, you know, like this, like a person who knows a person who knows a person.
It's like 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, so then like we're gonna go jam. Me and him show up to his house, or I'm sorry, me and Rob show up to Gallo's house, and the original guitarist that we were gonna play with didn't show up. So then our friend Ray, that like kind of just knew us all, happened to be hanging out. He started jamming with us, and then we decided like, all right, let's be a band. He didn't want to stick around for the whole thing, like, you know, he was just jamming, but it gave us the opportunity to kind of sit down and be like, oh, this kind of works. Like, we got some you know, neat chemistry going.
Chemistry.
Yeah, chemistry. All the chemistry. So then, yeah, and then after a little while, like, we were kind of like going back and forth on like, you know, do we want to be a 3-piece? Do we want to be a 4-piece? What do we want to do? You know, writing some stuff and then like revamping stuff. And then we found Pat. I've known Pat since I was like 15 years old. I just hit him up one day and I was like, listen, like, here's like some recordings of stuff we're doing. Like, do you want in on this? Like, you know, and if you do, like, be serious. And he was all about it. And,
Okay.
you know, and that's where this version of the band kind of comes in. Like, 'cause we've been kind of doing it, since like 2019?
Yeah.
Something like
Okay.
that.
Has it been that way?
Yeah, it's been that long now. You know, but like,
a
you know,
year just flew by recently. So
well, yeah, exactly. You know, there was about a 1-day year that you know, simultaneously 1 day and 100 years in 1 year. So, but yeah, like so just recently, like in the past like 12 months, we became like this new 4-piece version and got a lot more serious about the whole project.
Okay. And what kind of style do you guys consider yourselves, or what are you guys writing? Is there going to be some kind of recording process, writing process?
So right now it's kind of like it's kind of a mix of a lot of different genres. Like that's kind of how we started, was like, you know, we all come from different backgrounds as far as like what inspires us. Like I like a lot of blues and a lot of you know, emo stuff. Gallo's super into like the 70s and metal.
Yeah.
Right. And then
sounds about right.
yeah.
Disco 70s.
And Rob has like similar, like, you know, like that 90s grunge aesthetic, like that kind of stuff. A lot of metal, a lot of, I don't know what else. Like there's a ton of stuff in there.
There's random stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Pat's like, you know, big into classic rock. So it was like this kind of, we were like, just whatever we played, like whatever came out was what was written originally.
Yeah, it's like a melting pot.
Yeah, exactly. So like this first iteration, like right now we have our song series on YouTube. So it was like us live doing, like we're going to be remixing it and putting it out as like a little EP called the COVID Sessions with the 2 V's for Veronica Vaughn. So we're going to pop
It's all
that
about
out.
the marketing.
Yeah, big
That's it.
marketing, you know, viral marketing.
Oh boy.
Oh man, we can cut that right,
Right off the bat.
But yeah,
We might keep it.
Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, we recorded a bunch of stuff. It's kind of all over the place. There's blues, there's grunge, there's, you know, harder rock, there's softer rock, there's everything. But now we've kind of like the newer stuff that we've been writing has been kind of going down a little bit of a heavier path, more like Alice in Chains, Tool, kind of that kind of direction now.
Okay.
You know, and that was like kind of what the later stages of those songs were starting to like turn into. So we decided to just, you know, let's lean into it and do some like real, you know, grunge revival stuff.
Okay.
And
Is there any plans of like an EP or?
yeah, so we were supposed to actually record like a couple of weeks ago. You know, that plan got kind of kiboshed, and we're right now waiting on new time to go to go into the studio. But yeah, we've got an EP planned, like a special 2-song, like, because there are these 2 songs that we'll play later on that they just don't fit anything. Like they're like their own little world, these 2 songs. So we were like, let's just put them as their own little special thing, separate from everything. You know, we've got a ton of stuff in the works, music videos, everything. We're just trying to get our hands on anything we can. And also that like whole song series on YouTube was kind of my experiment in like, okay, how do I mix music and how do I like, you know, edit a video? So throughout that series, you actually see like an evolution of me like learning how to use any of this stuff.
Okay.
It's like watching this podcast.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So yeah, so it gets a little bit better as you go through. But I'm gonna go through and remix everything and remaster everything and put it out nice and pretty for Spotify as well. So
You're gonna do the digital thing, or you're gonna actually print like?
well,
Hard press.
for the first stuff, we're gonna go digital.
Okay.
He's gonna feed the
We
machine.
did recently, yeah, we did recently work with a record label. But yeah, we recently did a thing with Least of All Records out in Brooklyn. They do like strictly vinyl. So what we did was we did like a special like limited run of one of a kind vinyl. So, you know, you pre-order, you picked your song, and we played that song directly recorded to a vinyl that only you own, and then, you know, we did that.
That's pretty fucking
Yeah,
cool.
so we did like
Different.
So there are like
it was
what
really
I
cool.
think 19 or 20 of those now floating out there. Like those are done. So that was kind of neat. Like 'cause
Okay.
that is some physical stuff, but
That's
like
different. Like,
Yeah.
that's pretty like, oh,
That's
you
really
picked this
cool.
song, we'll put it on a fucking record
yeah.
for you.
And
Shut the
literally-
fuck up.
in one day we did like I think like 21 take tracks for like
Wow.
for all of these things. It was a neat experience. But yeah, I definitely want to go down the route of like getting like vinyls, tapes, CDs, anything, any of that stuff. But for the first stuff, it's probably going to be digital. Let that hopefully raise up the money to go to go physical, and then go from there. You know.
True. Like, you're not gonna pay digital that well.
Got bad news
Unless
for
you like
John.
7/10 of a penny.
Cents of a penny.
Use the digital to promote T-shirts, and then
There we go.
Who was it that we had on here? Somebody was like, "Yeah, when you get in a band, you officially become a T-shirt salesman."
exactly.
Yeah, that's great. I do remember that. No, that's cool. We'll actually look forward to, you know, seeing how that works out for you. You know,
Yeah.
hopefully we'll have you down again, and
Oh, yeah.
oh man, we sold like fucking 30,000 records. We played 30,000 times.
There's so many.
We made $4.87.
Who came up with this tailored fucking thing? God damn it!
Too much.
Oh my god, that's
That
great.
was cool. We should touch on the one thing because you asked us about our band name. You know, out in Brooklyn, we had this, you know, great engineer. Her name was Jules, and when we got there, she was like, "You guys, Veronica Vaughn?" And she was obviously like, there was us, you know, and then one other like bald guy with a beard. So we should be, yeah, we're Veronica Vaughn. She's like, I thought you guys were gonna be like some like, you know, timid girl with a ukulele. And then it was just like us, just like,
Nope.
Yeah.
Funny. Actually, it was funny. We have a phone linked together, and I didn't look at the name of the band. It was like when you were coming for the snow day, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, you gotta tell this chick I'm not doing this today.
And I'm like, it's a bunch of dudes.
I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what's the? And I look, I'm like, oh, okay, I got it. I just saw Veronica, and I'm like, whatever, dude. Like, fuck this.
Yeah.
She's gonna sit here, play the flute, and fucking be like, I'm a rock star.
Play some Jethro Tull.
Yeah.
Here's Nirvana.
Guys, we can't play the Jethro Tull song now. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you can.
shit.
I'm gonna throw some weird ass effects on it, but yeah.
There's some weird shit going on.
The song was called Schmuck Belong.
That's great. Is there anything you guys in particular want to talk before we keep moving?
this guy is actually having a baby coming into this world.
Wow,
Let's say that
congratulations.
Yeah, I guess
on
so.
air. Yeah.
Well, it's out
Say
there.
that. What's happening?
You don't like your hair, do you?
So probably in April we're gonna take a hiatus off the live shows for a little bit, let this guy adjust to his new life, and then come back swinging.
So
but
same 6 months.
we'll have
Summer.
we've got a bunch of
We gotta get
stuff
the
lined
summer
up
scene,
digitally, this way if you miss us live, we'll still be doing random things online, posting videos. Doing
How do
all
you
sorts of weird
feel
crap.
like posting the like YouTube videos and stuff helps you guys promote?
So I enjoy it. I think it helps in the fact if you can get even a decent quality video with decent quality sound up on YouTube, a lot of bands aren't doing that. A lot of bands and we did it
their phone recording in the jam room, and all you hear is
yeah, exactly. So it's if you have a space where you can get a clean recording of everything, I think it's huge. Mainly because we did this as an intro to the band. We didn't put any money into recording any of this. Just see how people like this, see how people are responding to it, see if there's any constructive feedback before we go dumping money into the recording process.
Gotcha.
So we did it for that reason, and also
And how were the results? Not to put
I mean,
it on the spot.
not the best. I mean, we got some new eyes on us.
Okay.
Which was.
But see,
cool.
that's a positive, or
Yeah.
that's something that you wouldn't have.
Exactly. Just got a little something,
Yeah.
a couple of people, and all of that matters. All of that
It
counts.
does,
We need anybody that's willing to listen. That's all I want. And we did it too, where we did it kind of a TV series where it was every week was going to be another song coming out. So we had 10 or 11 songs ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
So we were all right, let's just put them out once a week. And then the game that we were playing was we would record on Sunday. I would mix and edit the video on Monday, and then we'd release everything on Tuesday. So it was a crash course for me in everything.
no pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. Just and of course I decided stupidly to promise that before we ever even put anything
Tried
out. So the first one, I'm sitting there, I'm crying, it's 2 a.m. I'm this is never gonna happen.
Did you do that the first time?
No, but I did the same thing with this podcast. I just watched a couple videos on YouTube on how to edit and do run through OBS to record, and just trial by fire.
Yeah, it's the way to do it. Sometimes it's the best way to learn.
You can even see throughout our episodes it gets a little bit better and a little bit better every time,
for real.
sound wise, angles wise. I'm learning about lighting, and it's
Yeah,
there's a lot
I've
to
been
it.
watching a bunch of the episodes today, just to kind of get prepped, and you could tell
Look at these fucking assholes.
Fucking jerk
We're
offs.
doing this. Great job. Who fucking said yes? No, I'm just kidding. You guys are fun. All right, we're gonna do. I started this last week, so you haven't seen anything like this.
All right, I'm
So
super pumped about
the first one comes out next week. When's the one that I did the flash round to?
Next week, yeah.
Okay, so we're doing flash round. No, don't look. Don't look.
A little lightning round action.
All right.
Okay.
You guys could all answer.
Here's
I
the
wanna
question:
have
just
each
fire
of-
off when
That's
you.
right.
When,
And I'm pissed off because of the first one, because I thought you guys were a little younger.
Oh man.
But you answered it. But records or MP3s?
MP3s.
MP3s, yeah,
For
MP3s.
now, but I prefer.
I would have thought it was
Whoa,
gonna be
as
records.
far as recording,
still
as
have
far as listening.
CDs.
That's what I mean.
As
Listen.
far as listening,
Yeah.
records for me all.
I
Sorry.
didn't want to be a liar and say I'm a record guy. I didn't want to lie.
I would love to be a record guy, but it just seems like it's too much fucking shit.
It's
for
too
me.
expensive.
I only own one record.
I own a couple
The
of
band's
records.
record.
Yeah.
That's it.
I own a
That's
couple of
it.
records, and I prefer the sound, but I'm not rich enough to have that sound all the time for everything.
I don't even know if it's rich. You know what it is
It's
I'm
just a lot of
lazy,
time.
and
You gotta
kids
look for
younger than me are
stuff.
really fucking lazy. I'd rather just go on my phone and be like, oh, it's there. I'm gonna send it to my little Bluetooth speaker. I'm
I can
fucking
listen to
done.
Manson. I can listen to Dolly Parton. I gotta go dig through a record collection and then do this. There you go. Find the song. I'm
Okay, ready?
All right,
Britney Spears or Justin Bieber?
Britney Spears.
Britney Spears. Yeah.
John or Paul?
John.
Ooh,
oh,
John.
This guy's,
Okay.
this guy's
Shit,
No,
Ringo.
flash round,
No,
but it's
George.
like,
No, wait a minute.
flash round.
He said flash round. I'm like, no. Like, oh, answers.
clothes on,
Okay, answers. Got it.
Money or fame?
Fame.
Money.
He's like, yeah. Give me
I could buy fame.
Pretty much.
Confident. Once I'm famous, I'm confident we can market ourselves to get the money.
Yeah.
First we
It's
get
fine.
first we get the khakis, then we get the chicks.
If I got the money already, then it is, yeah. Fame?
I get the money, I'm out. Cool.
That's it. We're good.
And finally, this is a nice debatable one. Vocal melody or a big riff?
Vocal melody.
No, big riff.
Yeah, vocal melody. Yeah. I do like a
That's
good
the
vocal
opposite. The
melody.
last one, everybody was big riff.
Yeah, everybody's big riff.
Wow.
I like that one. I like that.
I like
vocal
the
melodies isn't. It's not really done too often. No. Everything is usually big riff.
Yeah, most
Just
people
rip off a solo, do it up. Like, yeah,
But
we-
a vocal melody isn't that good without a big riff behind it.
No, because a vocal melody is really good if you got a good bass line behind it.
outta here.
Personally, that's what I think. I think honestly, a good bass line will inform a good vocal melody.
Can you just take a look at like Bohemian Rhapsody? In the beginning of that,
And again,
there is
that-
no instruments behind that.
That's a-okay. That's a-okay. And the
Besides-
piano,
until the piano kicks
trumps
But,
all.
okay, and
But
that's
at
a
the
good
beginning,
song.
I'm just
At
saying.
the end, when the whole band
Big
comes
riff.
in, it's a big riff, and you're like, yeah, motherfucker, yeah. You know, it's like, yeah, who cares? Fuck yeah. You know?
Yeah, the fucking Wayne's World, everyone's fucking headbanging.
Yeah,
It's like, even you guys that listen to metal, like most Slayer songs,
Yeah.
they have those big epic fucking riffs.
Even just like powerful like palm muted like chugging to me, like in a breakdown, it's like dun 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 dun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's,
Sick,
it's
dude.
the whole
Like,
power and the drive of
oh
the song.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Tell us, where can people find you?
At the moment, they can find us everywhere: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. It's all at VVBandNJ. Check our YouTube stuff out. We did the original song series. Then we started a cover series, and then stuff kind of got hectic, and we had to like kind of
Start
stop
flagging
on
you,
it.
being like, this is done.
The flagging, like I knew none of it would get monetized.
Yeah, you get the copyright
you get
infringements
the
or
little
whatever, yeah.
copyright thing, and then it's like it'll still post. So those ones I was just more using for like just putting stuff out, like just let
Keeping
and then-
stuff in people's faces.
Yeah, keeping stuff in people's faces, but also like keeping us sharp. Like it's all different genres that we have planned for this, and it's just kind of to keep us sharp, but also like keep our minds open for writing too. Like like the more stuff or like the more things you could pull from in a practical sense. Like I think it's just easier to write like an interesting song and not kind of get stuck in the rut of like a lot of bands, I know it happens to me a lot, where you write like the same song 4 or 5 times, and then you're just like, oh wait, that's not
That fucking no one will ever know.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, fine, you know what? Just move this one up an octave.
Remember yesterday?
Fine.
We were practicing yesterday, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I wrote this riff," and Rob was like, "Sounds like a Nirvana song." He goes, "No, it's not. I checked." Rob pulls up a song, and it's just he's like, "Yeah, this is it."
Yeah,
He's like,
it was
Love Bug,
right?
and
Yeah, it
we
was
covered it.
legitimately.
We
I
used to
accidentally
cover it.
rewrote
Yeah.
Love Buzz, and we used to cover it.
It happens. It happens to everybody. You accidentally write like Freebird.
The only other thing that we've been trying to do though is we've been trying to like kind of revitalize the music scene in the Jersey, in anywhere in Jersey really. Like so we've got a couple of bands that we work with and putting out like the call to like all other bands, like any band in New Jersey, if you're interested, like hit us up, like direct message us. What I'm doing is I'm hitting up all of these bars that generally only do cover music, right? Like they're like
It's probably 75% of them.
exactly. It was just, like all of these places that like would kill to play. Like I would love to play like like we recently got Hooks over in Seaside to agree to have us over there, which they normally only do covers. So we kind of put it to them like, put us in your coldest, slowest month. We'll bring a couple of bands. We'll bring the sound. We'll bring, the crowd. Just let us do it. And if we can prove that we do this for you, like we can do this. Have us in the summer, like in your peak months. And we have, what is it? We've got the Barbarians, Kirby and the Sidewalkers, and Windward going to be on this show on February 25th with us after this is out already. So hopefully it went really well.
Well, we found
We're
you
gonna
guys
find out.
because of Mark Ward and Burnt Tavern.
Yeah, and Burnt Tavern, and we had done a show with them over at Icarus for the Ocean of Love charity. Like, so we did like a whole Christmas show. All the proceeds for it went to the Ocean of Love charity. We raised a bunch of money. Like, had Dogmatic Art doing like live paintings of all the bands and then auctioning them off afterwards. And
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, so it was a really cool event, and it got us all thinking, like, let's just keep like kind of pitching this, like, you know, instead of like, hey, I've got this band that's got 40 minutes of material, can I play? And it's like, no, I need a cover band that's going to cover 3 hours and, you know, keep people in the bar. Now I can say, hey, I've got a whole night of entertainment lined up for you, and, you know, kind of get these bars that like are completely dominated by the cover bands, which, you know, nothing against cover bands, but there's a lot of them. You know, try to get the original music back into some of these places, and use this also to kind of like lift other bands up. Like, you know, everybody help each other out, like getting these shows and kind of pitching it. You know, I pitch it that way, like any other band can pitch it that way to any other place. And then we all start just kind of sharing shows, kind of start sharing those events.
We talk about it a lot on here. Is that's what's been missing in music around, especially around this area, is there's no sense of community anymore. Like when I was growing up in bands, all the bands, we always promoted each other, you know, put each other on shows, and then it's kind of turned to, you know, into a whole little, you know, like what's good for me.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, it shouldn't be a competition like that. Like there's plenty of places to play, and I think it became a competition like that when a lot of places stopped having original music. So like the pool of places to even play shrank so much that it was like a dog eat dog. Like, I need to get that place. Like, so
well,
I'll
the support
disparage,
for
you know?
original music also died way
Exactly.
off. And bars see as a cover band, people are going to come out and see a cover band because it's the songs they've been listening to for 20 years, and they're going to sit there and get shit faced and spend a ton of money.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's
And that's why,
What
like,
it comes
I
down
wanna
to,
just
that
kind of
almighty
make
dollar.
a splash, you know, like you make enough of a splash where people notice it. People start coming out to those original shows because they'll be like, hey, what is that? Like that, like I just heard there was like some crazy party at this bar. Like, you know, I don't know what happened, but something was wild. Let's go check it out next time it comes around. You know, kind of try to make it an event and make it so that some of these places open up, bring the original music like interest back up, and then, you know, hopefully get that community back where it's like, you know, because I think it's all like feast or famine, and you know, right now it's a famine. Of
I wish you
work.
luck, man, because the hardest parts is going to be getting those places that just give you that shot.
Yeah, absolutely,
You know?
absolutely, and that's why I'm gonna do everything I can, from trying to get like media coverage, like, you know, like, hey, listen, if I've got to pitch it where it's like, you know, not necessarily like, hey, let my bands come play, but like, let's do an event. Like, I'll like set up a whole event around this, and then, you know, have the original bands be part of that event, like
Doing
like,
fundraisers for charities.
yeah,
is a great way to get in there,
fundraisers
too,
for charities, art shows, you know, like there's a lot of these like craft shows that happen, you know, all over the place. Like, try to get like live music incorporated. Even like indie professional wrestling has been coming back around a lot.
Yeah.
Start you know, like, start hitting up those promotions, like any band, like start hitting up those promotions and be like, yo, let me play a wrestler down the aisle for their you know, like, who cares, like, get it all together, like any art, any entertainment, put it all together, and like, you know, let's just make a big community out of it, and that's what we're really shooting for right now.
Yeah,
That's cool. Good luck.
It's what's missing. It used to be there, but
I agree
it's
completely.
gone.
I agree completely.
We're trying. We got a good network of bands, so
Yeah,
No,
the
it's
guys
very
we're working
cool,
with
yeah.
are really cool, and you know,
good sound.
Yeah.
It's-
and that's the other thing, like, you know, have a bunch of cool bands that have a cool sound, and, you know, I think people will start getting into it. You know, I think it can work. It worked once, right?
Years ago, yeah.
This for real?
Yeah, no, that is our sponsor and my bass player.
The power of Sticker Jesus compels you. Full color, waterproof, and UV resistant decals printed for your art, business, club, or anything you want to promote. DM this assholiness on Instagram at thestickerjesus, or email him at stuckupstickercompany@gmail.com to start your order today. Remember, Stuck Up is your source for signs, stickers, banners, and way more.
And if you mention the Jersey Shore Musicians Podcast, you will get 10% off your first order.
He's got the greatest voice. He should totally just do fucking commercials. You'll make a killing.
Isn't it absolutely the best? That's why I wanted him to do it.
I feel like the next Mike Rowe doing voiceovers on everything.
I've been asking him to like just take over all like any interview responsibility.
Oh my God.
If you write it,
I'll write.
Are you sitting at home by yourself?
just write scripts for me.
Hi, this is Morgan Freeman. You're watching. That's fucking great, guys.
All right. For our last question, we asked the same question to everybody that comes in here. I want an answer out of each one of you.
There's no wrong answer.
There's no wrong
I
answer.
just read this.
Definitely a wrong answer.
No, there's no wrong answer. If there's one singular thing you could change about the music scene, just one singular thing, what would it be and why?
I don't want to copy off the answer that we just elaborated on. If you guys have one, go ahead.
Some people go down the rabbit hole on this one.
Do you guys have an answer ready? One of you guys? I don't want to say community because we just talked about it.
Burn ass Ray Park.
That's a couple people have brought that.
Sorry, my bad.
That's okay.
Like we've had the community get rid of pay to play. One person said from Burn Tavern, they said that Ocean County lacks a real venue, like something of like the Saint or House of Independence or anything. You know, you're going to Asbury or Atlantic City if you want to play like a real venue.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it's very true. Wow, there's some good stuff.
I mean, we could turn up High School North. That little the
Ritacco
Ritacco
place
Center.
is
Over
huge.
there.
Yeah, let's just make the Ritacco Center
the new local
arena
spot.
tour.
You change, turn the Ritacco Center into a local venue.
Dude, they used to have bands there years ago.
I saw a Fallout Boy there with Motion City
Fuel
Sounds.
was there. Like it was
Wild.
insane.
I've still
15
never
years ago.
It would
stepped
probably
foot in
cost
there.
a
So
Not me neither,
Get
but
that
still.
right.
I have no idea how big it is.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a large gym.
Oh, they do stuff there.
Yeah, they do stuff there. I guess community for sure. Like, you know, we just spent a bunch of time talking about that. But I would also get rid of the pay to play aspect. I would get rid of it in its current form. Because the pay to play aspect, for anybody that doesn't know what it is, it's basically these promotion companies crop up and they go, okay, I'm going to make a deal with this bar, get bands in, and then, hey, band, you have to sell 10 tickets and, you know, they're $10 each. And, you know, so the band sells 5 tickets and they end up
putting you
paying
on a
$50
Wednesday morning.
yeah, exactly.
Or on the larger scale, you go to
And
like a
you fill this
Starland
place.
where they want you to sell 150
Yeah,
tickets
exactly.
at $45 a pop.
And
You
now
hand
you-
the guy $5,000 and you get back 200.
That too.
Exactly. And it's just like, it's craziness. So like things like that, like if you're going to be a promoter, that's the first thing. Promote the show.
That's not just posting on Facebook.
Yeah, it's not just posting something on Facebook with no hashtags and nothing, just like for only people that follow you to see. You know? Actually promote the show. Go out there, you know, create a community of people. Like again, create a community, but like the pay to play stuff, I wouldn't be as against it if it was like, hey, I have to sell X amount of tickets, but this guy's promoting it for me, so it's really easy to sell these tickets because people want to buy them. You know, that
Or I'm
would
going to
be
sell
great.
these tickets, go play the show to the people that I brought, and then nobody else's crowd's going to be there.
Exactly. That's the worst. And yeah, and I guess stick around for people's bands.
That's literally what I was like touching on. That I was like, you know what? Yeah, like all your bands that like bring your people, like have your people stay for other bands. Like,
Yeah, have them stay.
Something we bring up on here all the
you
time.
see them walking up, they're like, where are you going?
Attention
Like,
span is shit.
Yeah.
Nobody
Everybody.
goes to see a show anymore. They go
Nobody
to the
cares about
band.
music anymore.
Yeah, they go see the band that their friend coerced them into going to see, and
Yep.
then they're out the door.
Exactly. Yeah, and that you can't do that. It's like you know, if you're gonna go out to see these bands, like, know that you're supporting your friend's band, but like you just sticking around, it could be all the support, you know, the next band.
And you
needs,
never know who you might find your new favorite band.
100%. I've found a couple of bands like we became really good friends with them, but Spice Weasel, I forget where they're out of, but like up North Jersey. Fantastic punk band. We played some random show up north with them like a couple of years ago, me and Rob in our old band, and I fell in love with that band. Like I thought, like I was just like, this is like the old school like gutter punk that I've missed, you know, in music. Yeah. And these guys just kill it, and we became really good friends with them. And it's like, so you make tons of friends, you can find awesome music. Just stick around for those shows. Like, have a couple more drinks. It's not going to kill you. Like,
what could?
Not gonna kill you.
Just make sure you get
this message not endorsed by Veronica Vaughn.
If a bar isn't going to pay you, they should at least give you free beer too. As I'm saying, you know, if they're not going to pay you. I mean, they're
Also
like,
bars
oh,
if you're
by the
not
way,
paying.
you're not paying.
Oh, they know. They
and
know they
you're
got
not
the
giving
band
us
by the
anything free.
balls.
Okay,
You know?
like cool.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked to guys. There was times where when I played, it was hands full of cash. There you go.
Yeah.
Now it's a fucking check and a 1099.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow, fuck, dude, really? Yeah, I'm done. See you later.
Yeah, it's
You know?
crazy.
It's crazy about that shit. But to go along with your point of sticking around to go check out bands, what about the people that will just sit there on YouTube and try to find them versus to a live show?
There's a whole different energy to that.
There is. But you know what? Since what we just went through, that became the seesaw effect, and it went, whoa.
Yeah, and I wish it would go back the other way,
I
honestly.
don't think it's going
What's your opinion on this? We've talked about this a couple times. Is throughout COVID and all that, you know, what if a venue was to put up cameras in their place, and you could pay $15 to get in the door to go see the band, or you could pay $10 and get an online ticket and stream the show.
As long as the sound quality is good, I mean, it's a good enough compromise. But what I will say is that the energy of a live show for the person experiencing the show and for the band or performer playing the show is something that I think everybody should get to experience, and something everybody should experience, because I could tell you from being on stage, like, I've done some of those, those Skype shows or like Zoom shows or whatever, and like they're great. Like the people that go to them, so like weird. They're very weird though. Like, because it's like you feel like you're a band part of this. You feel more like you don't have that like razor's edge focus that you have when you're in front of a bunch of strangers and they're pushing that energy out at you and you're pushing it back at them. They're like, you know, that feeling is kind of lost. And then the other thing is like, I feel like artists play a lot more passionately when they have that energy coming from the crowd. Yeah. So it's like, you know, you might not get the best performances out of some of these people unless you have them in a room full of people that are listening, you know, and then they can kind of feed off of that. Because I know for me, you know, sometimes it's almost like a trance. Like you're up there singing and you're like, if there's people like enjoying it, like you get high on it and you just you want to keep going.
Well, all that is true though. In a time where you're saying that original music doesn't have the support and community it needs, why are you going to shut the door on an avenue that will bring you more support?
Yeah. You shouldn't. No, I wouldn't ever shut the door on that. Yeah.
What?
A little testy.
No, I'm saying it's the flip side of the coin.
It's a perfectly fine question. No,
Fuck him. Fuck him.
You shut your mouth over there, right?
I agree that avenue should be there. Like I'm not saying that you shouldn't do those shows or that those shows are bad. Yeah. I'm just saying it's a whole different ball game.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Tell people to get out there.
So I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Like,
that's all.
100%. If you can't, or if you're uncomfortable going out to, you know, a public place, and you know, if there's the option to watch that show virtually, like absolutely you should do that. And I think more places should offer that option. Obviously, some of the venues I could see them not wanting to because it encourages people not to come in and drink and all of that stuff. But there should
That's
be
from
like
a business aspect versus
from
artist
business.
aspect.
Exactly.
Then you gotta-
It's like
we're trying to reach people.
You got to look at the point of, you know, they're not going to come in and drink, but if you don't do that, they're not going to come in at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're not going to know about.
You're
this
still going to
place
get
at
their,
all.
you know, online ticket price if they're watching it from home.
Yeah. So I say, if anything you can get, anything that you can do, anything you get in front of people, do it. Just keep, don't sit there and just go, oh, well, I would do this if A, B, or C. Just do it anyway. Don't give yourself an excuse not to. If you can get the ability to play like a digital show, absolutely do it. If you get the ability to play a live show and you're comfortable with the situation that you're finding yourself in, absolutely go do it. But I just think people need to be more receptive to the original music, and not just finding stuff on random TikToks or anything. Just go and you do any town you live in, there's probably some type of music scene working around. Go find it. I'm sure you're gonna find something you like in there. So
one would hope.
Yeah.
Did we get one from you?
Yeah, I was just my last answer for the last question was just rock music to be mainstream again. Aside from MGK's punk stuff, there's just no big rock music. I feel like.
Well, I mean, there hasn't been that many good rock bands either, though. That's the problem.
Well, here we are. So now it's up to us.
Now go fix this shit, boys. Go out there and fix it.
So
I agree with that.
That'll put rock
We
music
need it
in the face of more people. I mean, I doubt it's going to be that hair metal 80s ago where people are just falling over rock bands and clubs are just dying to get them in the door. But I think if the music is more in people's face and more mainstream, then bars and clubs are going to want to have, oh, hey, we're having a rock night, which I'm sure isn't even a thing.
A lot of that's regional too, though, because we know a couple people from North Carolina, and down there, the rock and metal is thriving.
Yeah,
they have low budget 3-day music festivals in the mountains all the time.
Oh, we got to move, guys.
Yeah, we all say that.
move.
And that's another question too. Is it Jersey?
Because pay to play
Is it Jersey?
A lot of this area is what pay to play is. You go out west, that stuff kind of disappears.
it might be Jersey currently, but that's why we're here. We're gonna fix
this
Change
shit.
the game.
Fix New Jersey.
Fix it before I die.
Yeah, I think because
That's our solemn promise to you, listeners. We're gonna fix New Jersey.
Wow, that's a bold statement right there.
You got a lot of free fucking time on your hands, don't you?
I put it out there. Here we go.
Veronica Vaughn 2024.
Well, this was a pleasure, guys. Let's
Yes, very
gotta
much.
get them in the room and pump out some tunes.
And if you want to get in touch with the podcast, you want to be on the podcast,
Fuck
right up
that.
there, jsmpinfo@gmail.com, and Jeff will get right back to you.
No, I won't.
Go fuck yourself, buddy. All right?
I hit delete.
I love you too. All right.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
The sky was weeping as we take possession, staring down the barrel of a bad decision, and our eyes show nothing but these cruel intentions, praying for the bloodshed just to